Back on the record. This is Nicholas Anderson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Case number U5822160. Strike that. U5822160. Nicholas Anderson, scheduled for review on disorderly conduct. Counsel, your name for the record, please.
Your Honor, my name is Paul Hughes, appearing on this matter.
Your name, sir?
Nicholas Anderson.
Okay, this matter is scheduled for review before this court. The probation officer, Ken Scotty, has sent to the court a motion for discharge from probation, indicating you have satisfied the conditions set. I am discharging you from probation today. You will be getting your paperwork, sir. Is your address still the same?
Yeah, yes, it is, Your Honor.
Nothing's changed. Okay, so you will be getting your order of discharge from probation.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Does that mean my case is closed?
You're being closed out from probation, sir. All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
You are free to leave then, sir. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Abdallah, you can unmute yourself. This is case number SP 7423581. Hani Abdallah.
Your Honor, Paul Hughes.
No. Hold on, sir. Hold on. I'm still calling the case. I will direct who to speak at the time that I'm ready for that to happen. I'm just trying to get the case numbers correct here. The charge on that is operating a motor vehicle with no insurance, a misdemeanor. Mr. Abdallah also has case number 418-411-4691. The charge is operating a motor vehicle with no operator's license on person. Both matters are before the court today on arraignment on the bench warrant. Mr. Abdallah, would you unmute yourself, sir? You are muted. You're still muted, sir. You are still muted, Mr. Abdallah. You are still muted.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm
Would you
fine, okay.
identify your name for the record, sir?
My name is Hani Hassan Abdallah.
Okay, Mr. Abdallah, I spoke with you earlier and you had indicated that you did not wish to speak with the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So I have called your case and today is the arraignment. There was a bench warrant issued on the two matters that I just called because you did not appear in court on the previously scheduled court date. So I'm setting aside all outstanding bench warrants. Now, I do recall you saying something about paying a bond, posting a bond for the matters.
Yes, Your Honor. On January the 14th, my wife.
No, sir. No, sir. You're not having a trial right now. We're only here to arraign you on that matter. And you said you posted a bond. I'm entering a plea of not guilty as to both of them. And I will set a pretrial date for you. What are the pretrial, the dates? I'm sorry, April 23rd. Is that correct?
Yes,
April 23rd, 2021 at 9:00 a.m. will be your pretrial date, sir. And on that date, you can either represent yourself or you can have an attorney present, since you did not want to speak with the court-appointed attorney, but you also can still represent yourself. But on that date, the pretrial is the opportunity for the prosecution to make any recommendations as to your matter, and you can decide what you want to do on that date. Okay?
Okay. Your Honor, I just got a question regarding like when you said about the opponent attorney. I cannot afford to have money for the attorney. Is
Sir, that's why I asked you, did you want to speak with the court-appointed attorney that we had here today? And you said you did not wish to speak to him.
Yeah, I thought like in order for me to speak, they're gonna charge me more money for that or not?
Well, the court can assess a fee for court-appointed attorney at a later date if the court so chooses. But right now, if you have an opportunity to speak to an attorney, that's why I asked you earlier.
Okay, I apologize for that, but
Okay,
I'll go ahead and speak with the attorney.
Well, then you're going. Okay, sir, you're going to have to wait because we had thought everyone had been spoken to. So just put yourself back on mute, and I'll call that at a later time.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Let me get to the next case. Just. Russell Asby, you may unmute yourself. That's the next case I am calling. Russell Asby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is case number 703596. The charge is operating a vehicle while license suspended. This matter is before the court today for a pretrial. Counsel,
Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Hughes appearing on Mr. Asby's behalf. Could you state your full name for the record, sir?
Russell Stephen Asby.
Thank
okay, counsel, what do you wish to do?
you. Your Honor, I've discussed the plea offered by the city, and he wishes to take advantage of that. The charge of driving license suspended would be amended to failure to display.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up. What is the defendant wishing to do?
We're going to enter into a plea. Driving
Okay.
license suspended to be amended to failure.
Okay, I just want to know if he's entering a plea or not. Let's not go any further. I just wanted to be able to understand whether I needed to set a trial date or whether I needed to proceed with the plea. Mr. Asby, would you raise your right hand and be sworn in? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth.
Yes.
Mr. Asby, you do consent to having your matter heard today on this court by Zoom?
Yes.
And you have spoken with the court-appointed attorney, Mr. Hughes, regarding your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you wish to enter a plea, as Attorney Hughes has indicated, to the recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel for the City of Detroit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea, sir?
No, Your Honor.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you do understand you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and understanding that you do wish to proceed with a plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Asby, on the date of July 4th, 2020, were you operating a motor vehicle, I think it's a Belle Isle Riverbank in the city of Detroit?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
And at that time, were you stopped by is that a Detroit police officer or well, you were stopped by an officer, a police officer, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you asked to produce a driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to give a driver's license?
No.
And were your driver's license suspended at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will accept the plea. Is there anything further, counsel, as far as the plea?
Oh, no, Your Honor, thank you. We're satisfied.
Okay. Court will accept the plea and adopt the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel and amend the charge to failure to display a valid operator's license, a 0-point violation. Anything you wish to state on Mr. Asby's behalf before the court imposes the sentence?
No, Your Honor.
No, ma'am.
Hey, Mr. Asby, due to this pandemic time, I'm going to waive all fines and costs in this matter. Just understand that you would have had in excess of $200 fines and costs, but the court is going to waive those. You're going to have to pay the Secretary of State's reinstatement fee. They're the ones that suspend your driver's license, so you'll have to address that matter with them before you can validly operate a motor vehicle, if that's why your license has been suspended. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, so make sure you take care of your Secretary of State situation and any other situations before you operate a motor vehicle on the streets and highways. All right, you are free to leave, sir.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thank
You
very
too,
much.
sir.
All right, thank you.
Diamond Taylor, please unmute yourself. Okay. This is case numbers SP 1002760, count 1. Charge is driving while license not valid or improper license. Count 2, no insurance on the motor vehicle. Count 3, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Today is the date and time set for arraignment on the bench warrant. Counsel?
Your Honor, good morning. Paul Hughes appearing on her behalf. Could you state your full name for the record, please, ma'am?
Diamond Taylor.
Your Honor, we have spoken. The offer by the people is that if she were to plead guilty to.
Counsel.
Yeah.
Would you just, I just want to know, is she going to take the plea
She's
or,
gonna plead.
okay, because you've already spoken with her, so I just want to know if she wants to enter a plea of guilty and have the court adopt the recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel.
Exactly.
That's what, okay, would you raise your right hand, Miss Taylor, and be sworn in? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
And Miss Taylor, are you consenting to having this matter heard today on Zoom?
Yes.
And you do understand that you do have a right to a trial in this matter? These
Yes.
matters, yes. By entering a plea, you are giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. On June 18th, 2019, were you operating a motor vehicle on eastbound McNichols in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And as to count 3,
I'm sorry.
as to count 3, the open alcohol in a motor vehicle,
Yes.
okay. Was there open alcohol in your motor vehicle?
Yes.
What alcohol was there, ma'am?
Well, it was a bottle of wine. It was a
Okay.
bottle of wine, and it wasn't open. It was a
The
it was a
charge
bottle.
the charge is open alcohol in a motor vehicle, meaning that the alcohol had not been, the seal had been broken at some point, and it had been broken. Are you saying, had the seal been broken?
Yes.
Okay, so the alcohol had been opened. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so you are entering a plea to open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Is that correct?
Like it was a bottle of wine.
That's
And
alcohol. And the charge is open alcohol in a motor vehicle. You're saying that if you're saying that yes, there was open alcohol in a motor vehicle, then you're entering a plea of guilty. If you're saying it's not, ma'am, it was not an open alcohol in the motor vehicle, then you have a right to a trial. We can set you a
Right.
trial date. So do you
Right.
wish to proceed with a trial in this matter, or do you wish to proceed with the guilty plea as you had indicated earlier?
Yes, I plead guilty because I don't want to go to trial.
That's not it. You're pleading guilty to open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
And you've indicated that there was wine in the vehicle that you operated on that date and time. Is that correct?
Yes.
And and the wine bottle had been opened. Is that correct?
The wine bottle was not open. So I guess
Ma'am,
I'm-
I don't know what you mean. When the term open alcohol, meaning it was not a bottle that had never been opened. that would not be open. But if the bottle had been open, corked, uncorked, unscrewed at any point, and it was in the motor vehicle, then that is open alcohol. If you're saying, no, I just bought it from the store and it was still in the bag, being transported to my house because I just bought it, then that's not open alcohol. But if the wine had been unscrewed, uncorked, and it was in the motor vehicle, then it is considered open alcohol. Is that what happened?
It was the empty bottle. Is that
Ma'am, if you're saying you did not have any open alcohol, if you did not have any wine, as you said earlier, in the vehicle, and it wasn't open, then you enter a plea of not guilty and you go to trial. Prosecutor has to establish the facts. So
okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm not gonna plead guilty.
Okay. We're going to withdraw the beginning of her indicating her guilty plea, and I never accepted it. So we're going to set this matter. We're going to continue your plea of not guilty and set the matters for trial for April 23rd, 2020 at 9:00 a.m., ma'am. You're released on personal bond, meaning you're not posting any money. But if you fail to appear for your future court appearances, a warrant would be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is your address on the ticket still the same?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's Romulus, yes.
What? Okay, Miss. Okay, let me see. Hold on a second.
That's not the address on the ticket, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you hang up and call the court clerk and make sure she has your correct information. The number is 965. Or do you have the number? Okay.
965.
Okay, 2405. Please call down and speak with
965
2405. Please call right now when you hang up and speak to the court clerk to make sure your information is correct. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you're free to leave.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get DAWANTAE. Thomas, please unmute yourself. Mr. Thomas, please unmute yourself so we can proceed. You're still muted, sir.
I'm here.
Okay, are you ready to proceed?
Hello?
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, this is case.
Yes, I am.
I heard you, sir. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? I'm.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, let me proceed then, please. This is case numbers P1087028. The charges: count 1, operating a motor vehicle with improper plates. Count 2, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 3, no insurance on the motor vehicle. All 3 are misdemeanors, and they are scheduled for pretrial today. Counsel,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Paul Hughes appearing on behalf of Mr. Thomas.
would you identify yourself again for the record, Mr. Thomas?
Sir, state your full name for the record, please.
Mr. Thomas, are you having
Yes.
difficulties? Because we're talking to you and you're not responding. Would you state your name for the,
My phone had connected to my car.
okay,
Say
so are you,
Thomas.
okay, thank you. These matters are scheduled for pretrial. Counsel,
Your Honor, I review this matter with Mr. Thomas. He is interested in moving forward with the plea pursuant to the city's recommendation. That
Mr. Thomas, would you raise your right hand and be sworn in, please?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes, it's the truth.
Okay. And
Yes.
you are consenting to having this matter heard over the Zoom today, sir?
Yes.
You understand that you do have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes.
By entering a plea of guilty, you're giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes.
That's not your vehicle, is it?
Nah, that's
Okay, so on May 26, 2020, were you operating a motor vehicle on Schaefer Road in the city of Detroit?
yes.
And as to count 1, were the plates on the vehicle proper?
No.
Okay. Counsel, are you satisfied?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the plea and adopt the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel and dismiss count 2, the unregistered motor vehicle, and dismiss count 3, the no insurance. Counsel, is there anything you wish to state on Mr. Thomas's behalf before the court imposes the,
Not at this time, Your Honor.
anything you wish to state, sir?
No. No.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Thomas, due to the pandemic, I'm going to waive all your fines and costs. You would have been paying in excess of $150 fines and costs, but they are waived today, sir. If
Okay,
you
thank
have, you're welcome. If you have any suspensions on your driving record, you would have to address the Secretary of State and pay those reinstatement fees.
Okay.
If you had any.
Yeah, I ain't
But
got enough.
okay, then, so you are all set, Mr. Andrews. Please make sure everything is in order in the future.
Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, I
Yeah.
apologize.
We thank the court for
You
waiving.
moved on my screen, and so Mr. Andrews is in the place where you were. So, Mr. Thomas, you are free to leave.
Okay, thank you.
You have a good afternoon.
You too. I got everything dropped. And she weighed the money.
You're still on, Mr. Thomas. Monica Thompson, please unmute yourself.
Hi.
All right. These are case numbers. P1065398. Charges, count 1, failure to display a valid operator's license while operating a motor vehicle. And count 2, no insurance on the motor vehicle. Both matters are before the court today for an arraignment on the bench warrant. Counsel?
Your Honor, good afternoon. Paul Hughes appearing on her behalf. We're going to go ahead and enter a plea on her behalf.
Would you have her identify herself for the record, Ms.?
State your name, please, ma'am.
Monica Thompson.
Okay, counsel, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the recommendation of the people is that count 1 should plead guilty to count 1 regarding the license violation.
Mr. Hughes, I don't need to know what the details are yet. I just need to know if she wishes to, well, first of all, she has an arraignment on the bench warrant, so we have to make sure. Okay, I'm going to set aside any outstanding warrants and enter a plea of not guilty. Now, is there anything further regarding Ms. Thompson?
Yes, she will be entering into a plea of guilty to count 1, dismissal.
I just need to know, wait a minute, counsel. I just want to know if she wants to enter a plea. If she does, I will swear her in and then we will proceed from there. Okay? She wishes to enter a plea and have the court adopt the recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we can proceed with you raising your right hand, Ms. Thompson, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony? Ma'am, no, ma'am. That is totally inappropriate. Are you ready to proceed? Do I need to recall your case, ma'am?
No, you're okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson, do you consent to having your matter heard today on Zoom in this court? Do you understand that you have a right to a trial in each of these matters?
Yes.
By entering a plea, you're giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter a plea?
No.
You're entering the plea freely and voluntarily, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so on the date of, let's get this date correct, February 23rd, 2020, were you operating a motor vehicle on East Grand Boulevard in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And were you stopped by a Detroit police officer at that time?
Yes.
Were you asked to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes.
Were you able to produce a valid driver's license?
No.
Counsel, are you satisfied?
Yes.
Court will accept the plea and adopt the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel. Will dismiss count 2, the no insurance. That is with the stipulation of probable cause, counsel?
There is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court will dismiss count 2, defendant stipulating the probable cause. Is there anything further you wish to state, Mr. Hughes, before the court imposes the sentence?
Yes, Your Honor, just very briefly, like many of the community, she has been hit by the pandemic rather severely, and her finances are tenuous at this time. We'd ask the court to take that into consideration.
Anything you wish to state, Ms. Thompson?
Yes. I have another little form, and it was saying that my driver's license was expired, and it has a case number on it, but I'm not sure if that has anything to do with today.
I don't either. Is that from the court, ma'am?
Yes, it is. The one that you guys dismissed of no proof of insurance, it has the same date as that, the one without the driver's license expired.
What's the case number on it, ma'am?
It's SP 11235241.
Miss Edwards, can you look that up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I am so sorry, I misspoke. The offer by the people was pleading to operating while no valid license and dismissal of the no insurance.
She took a plea to failure to display, count 1. And that's what I took a plea to.
Okay, thank you.
That's what she just did. But she's raising an issue. Did you know about another, was she speaking of that she had a, something presented to her?
She represented that to me, Your Honor, but I told her that I could not find it anywhere on the docket, so,
Okay, well, usually, counsel, I just have the court clerk check.
yes.
If you could, if that happens in the future, please just ask the court clerk to check that before we call the case.
Very good.
Your Honor, she has this ticket, but it's scheduled not until April 27th, 2021.
Okay, so
She
that's
has-
another, that's another ticket that has already have a court date scheduled, Miss.
Yes, she has 2 more tickets, but her court date is not till April 27th for those.
Okay, but if she, just for future, Miss Thompson,
Yes.
if you have more than one court date set, it's important to ask the clerk or when you check in about that, because we might have been able to get them all in today, but since you
Okay.
hadn't.
Okay. So
Okay.
I have one question. You guys are dismissing the one with no proof of insurance.
Who is you guys, ma'am? I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
sure who you're.
I'm sorry. The court.
Okay. I'm dismissing. I called 2 cases today, ma'am. They were both issued at the same time. So you gave a plea to the failure to display a valid operator's license. The court took that plea and then, per the recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel, dismissed count 2, the no insurance. That is dismissed.
Okay. So, okay.
Okay,
All right.
anything else?
No.
Okay. Okay, so Miss, you took the plea to failure to display. Due to the pandemic, I am going to waive your fines and costs. You would have paid in excess of $150. I'm waiving that, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if you have any suspensions or anything regarding these 2 matters, you would have to take care of that with the Secretary of State. You also need to take care of those other matters that you are scheduled for on April 27th. Is that it? So you have a date for April 27th, right?
Yeah, I have them both.
Okay, make sure you appear on that date and time, okay?
Okay, and I have one question. In
One
regards
more
to my
question?
driver's, yes, I'm sorry. In regards to my driver's license being suspended, do I have to come get a form and take it to the Secretary of State?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That all is done. You can do that over online, etc. You don't need this is all being entered into the computer.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Last name Tubbs, please unmute yourself. And if you can put yourself on screen, please.
Hi, it's LaShawn.
Okay. This is case number SP 107-17621. Charge is failure to display a valid operator's license while operating a motor vehicle. There's also SP 1071733, count 1, operating motor vehicle with expired plates, which is a civil infraction. And the second, no proof of insurance. The first matter, the misdemeanor, scheduled for a pretrial today. Counsel?
Your Honor, good afternoon. Paula Hughes appearing on her behalf. We have discussed this matter. We do wish to enter a plea.
Ms. Tubbs, would you please identify yourself for the record?
Yes, LaShawn Tubbs.
Would you raise your right hand and be sworn in, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Ms. Tubbs, do you consent to having your matters heard today before the court on Zoom?
Yes.
Do you understand that you do have a right to a trial and a hearing in each of these matters?
Yes.
By entering a plea, you're giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Ms. Tubbs, the recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel, 331, let's see, is that if you enter a plea to the civil, if you admit responsibility to the civil infraction expired plates, then count 2 would be dismissed, as well as the misdemeanor, the misdemeanor 107-17621. The misdemeanor being that of failure to display a valid operator's license. You wish to admit responsibility to the civil infraction and have the court adopt that recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel?
Yes.
Counsel, are you satisfied?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
I will accept the plea of responsible to the expired plates. That is case number 107-1733, count 1. Per the recommendation, dismiss count 2. And also dismiss per the recommendation P 107-17621, the misdemeanor, failure to display. Counsel, is there anything you wish to state before the court imposes the sentence?
Judge, we appreciate the offer by the city. Again, the pandemic is striking many people. This is an expired plate violation. We've asked the court to take that into consideration.
Anything else you wish to state, ma'am?
No.
Okay, your fine would have been $145, but due to the pandemic, I am going to waive your fines and costs in these matters.
Okay, thank you.
Anything you wish to ask before you're dismissed?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to leave, Ms. Tubbs.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Are you on here?
Please put yourself on mute. Who just came on, please put yourself on mute. You're talking and we're hearing you and you're not before the court at this time. Thank you. Dalana, last name Tucker. Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Okay. And we have two people at this time. It's also Michael Tucker. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. These are case numbers SP 107-18211. Dalana Tucker. Charge is no operator's license on person while operating a motor vehicle. There's also SP 107-18141. Civil infraction for improper left turn. Count 2, civil infraction for defective brake lights. And count 3 for no proof of insurance, civil infraction. The misdemeanors before the court today for a pretrial. Then we also have Mr. Michael Tucker, SP 107-18242. No insurance on motor vehicle. This matters before the court on a misdemeanor for pretrial. Counsel?
Your Honor, good afternoon. Paul Hughes appearing on behalf of both defendants.
Would you have them identify themselves for the record?
Could you
counsel?
please, Mr. and Ms. Tucker, could you please give your full name for the record?
My name is Dalana Denise Tucker.
And I'm Michael LeBron Tucker.
Okay, counsel, you may proceed. You can start, you may proceed, counsel.
Thank you. We're going to enter please both defendants.
Is this per a recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel?
Yes, it is. Would like me to put that on the record right now?
Mr. and Mrs. Tucker, would you both raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Tucker, do you understand? Oh, well, first of all, are you consenting to having your matters heard before this court today on Zoom?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial in these matters? I'll start with Ms. Tucker. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
And by entering a plea, you're giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand, Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter a plea, Mrs. Tucker?
No.
Mr. Tucker?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily, Mrs. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Mrs. Tucker. On the date, oh, let me see my place here. On the date of, well, let me back up. That's P1071814. Okay. All right, on P1071814. Let me look at this recommendation again. The recommendation from the Assistant Corporation Counsel is that if you plead responsible to the civil infraction of improper left turn, then the other matters called today would all be dismissed as far as you, Ms. Dalana Tucker. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you do wish to admit responsibility and have the court adopt that recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel?
Yes, ma'am. I did it.
Okay, thank you. The court will accept the plea of responsible to P107-18141. And per the recommendation of Assistant Corporation Counsel, dismiss counts 2 and 3. Also dismiss Okay, are they dismissing under this 241? I'm trying to, let's see. Okay, also dismiss P107182, count 1. Dismiss P961496111. That is with stipulation of probable cause, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Court will dismiss those matters per the stipulation by defendant.
Thank you.
Okay, and I will come back to you, Ms. Tucker.
Okay.
I want to now handle Mr. Tucker. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Tucker.
Yes.
On P107182 count 2. No, strike that. On P107182 count 1, which is the improper. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong. Okay.
Your Honor, that's allowing an unlicensed person to drive.
Okay, hold on. So I need to. Okay, I'm going to recall Mr. Tucker's is SP10718241, count 1, allowing an unlicensed driver to operate motor vehicle, and count 2 is the no insurance misdemeanors. I think I misspoke on the first, when I first called it. So, Mr. Tucker.
Yes.
You are going to enter a plea to the allowing an unlicensed driver and have count 2, no insurance, dismissed per the recommendation. Is that what you're entering a plea to today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So on that ticket, on the date of March 3rd, 2020, were you the owner of a 2006 Ford vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you allow an unlicensed driver to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. And you knew the person did not have a valid Michigan driver's license, is that correct?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you satisfied, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor, I am.
Court will accept the plea and adopt the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel and will delay sentence in this matter as to count 1 and dismiss count 2 with the stipulation of probable cause, counsel?
Yes. Thank you.
Court stipulating, defendant stipulating the probable cause. Count 2, the no insurance is dismissed. Counsel, is there anything you wish to state before I impose the conditions of the delayed sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. The only comments I would make is 2. One is whether or not, as long as everything is well in 90 days, the suspended sentence, he does not have to reappear back in court. That's the usual course.
Counsel,
yes.
Okay, it's my court, but I just want to know what, I don't care about the usual course. I just want to know, do you have anything else you want to say on behalf of Mr. Tucker? You just want to ask that he not have to appear back in court. Is that correct?
I want to make sure he understands. That's all.
Well, until I give the conditions, he doesn't have them yet. So, okay.
we'd ask the court to consider the pandemic and to fine and cost accordingly. Thank you.
Anything you wish to state, Mr. Tucker?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So the court is going to delay sentence in this matter for a period of 3 months, Mr. Tucker. Your review date would be, could you give me a 3-month date, Ms. Edwards? Sentencing date would be 3 months from now.
We, May the 10th, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the date.
May the 10th.
May the 10th.
Okay, May 10th, 2021 at 9:00 a.m. would be your sentencing date on this delayed sentence. The following conditions are: 1, that during this period from today up to May 10th, you not have any other traffic violations, any misdemeanor traffic or any type of traffic violations, sir. You understand that?
Yes, Your
For
Honor.
the next 3 months. And I'm not assessing any fines and costs, or I'm waiving any fines and costs. You would have had to pay in about, let's see what that would be, at least $200, but I am waiving your fines and costs in this matter. And so there's only one condition, and that is no further traffic violations, no criminal contact with the police regarding any traffic violations. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so if you have satisfied that on May 10th, you do not have to appear in court. But if you have had any between this date and May 10th, then you must appear back in court. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
So your address and everything is correct, sir?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you are free to leave, and remember that next date and your conditions. Okay?
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right. And wait a minute, did I miss?
You gotta
Miss-
go back, yeah, to Delana.
Yes, Miss Tucker.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so as to yours, I too am waiting your fines. It would have been, yours was which one was it? What did we?
Improper left turn.
Oh, improper left turn.
Yes,
Yes, you
ma'am.
would. Yes, you would have been assessed fines. Okay, I can't even find the left turn. Oh, and it's $130 fine. So I'm waiving that.
Thank you.
And you just have to take care. Be careful, ma'am. Don't get any more tickets coming back to court. Okay.
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. All right. You're
Have a
free to
great
leave.
day. Leave. How you leave?
Here it is, right here.
Push it.
Leaving.
Dante Turner, you may unmute yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is case numbers X3780222, count 1, operating motor vehicle with no operator's license on person, count 2, no insurance on the motor vehicle, count 3, no valid registration plate. That's a civil infraction, the third one. Counts 1 and 2 are misdemeanors scheduled today for a pretrial. Counsel?
Your Honor, good afternoon. Paul Hughes appearing on Mr. Turner's behalf.
Counsel, would you have your client identify himself?
I'm so sorry. Sir, could you state your full name for the record?
My name is Dante Turner.
Okay, Counsel, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the plea recommendation in this case is defective because it only addresses count 2 of the ticket that you have described. There is no recommendation as to count 1 or to count 3.
Counsel, okay. Miss Edwards, was count 1 and 2 a state or, let's see, wait a minute, hold on, let me look and see. These are state tickets, counts. I think count 1 and 2 are state, set for pretrial. So 1, I see that the recommendation for from the Assistant Corporation Counsel as to count, is it count 2?
Yes. That would be dismissed, but there's nothing else there.
Okay, hold on.
Mr. Morgan is present on Zoom, Your Honor.
I understand that, Mr. Morgan, I think, Mr. Morgan can, well, maybe not. He's still on mute. Mr. Morgan?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I believe he can handle counts 1 and 3 as well. I could be wrong, but those normally that goes to the city.
Attorney Morgan.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're addressing Mr. Turner, Dante Turner case. Okay. We have your recommendation to dismiss count 2. Counts 1 and 3 are state cases. Is that not correct? Or?
I can't see the recommendation, but the ones that I did not address more than likely were state cases. That's probably why I did not address them.
Right. That's what I believe. Okay. So thank you. As Mr. Hughes, as to count 2, the Assistant Corporation Counsel, Mr. Morgan has recommended dismissal of count 2, and the court will dismiss with a stipulation of probable cause.
There is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, now, do you have a motion as to counts 1 and 3?
Your Honor, the people not being prepared to proceed, we have moved to dismiss.
Okay. Court will grant the motion and dismiss counts 1 and 3 without prejudice.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Turner, do you have any questions?
Oh, Your Honor.
You are free to leave, sir. Have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
those down.
Kenneth Terry, please unmute yourself.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm good. Do you have a pitch? Okay, thank you. This is case number P10724252. The charge is count 1 is a civil infraction, littering, and count 2 is the misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, scheduled for a pretrial today. Counsel.
Your Honor, good morning. Paul Hughes appearing on his behalf. Sir, could you state your full name for the record, please? Sir, could you state your full name for the record?
Oh,
please?
Kenneth Lionel Terry Jr.
Okay, Mr. Morgan. Is Mr. Morgan still here? Okay. Nope, he's not, huh? Okay, counsel,
I don't see.
you may proceed.
Yeah, I don't see a recommendation in the file. Your Honor. This is Mr. The last name is again.
There is a recommendation. There is a recommendation in the file.
I must have missed it through my email.
Did you speak? Have you spoken to Mr. Terry at all?
No.
Okay, put yourself back on mute, sir. Okay, Miss Edwards, would you send over the recommendation again? But you know what, Attorney Morgan, hold on. Attorney Morgan, could you unmute yourself? Attorney Morgan. I'm trying to get because I'm looking at the recommendation. I see there's only a recommendation to count 2, but nothing as to count 1. So I wanted to see if Attorney Morgan. So if he comes back on or in, let me know, please. Okay. Or you could call him and let him know I need to speak to him.
Your Honor, excuse me, Paul Hughes. As to Kenneth Terry, I'm only seeing 1 charge for disorderly conduct on the docket. I thought you mentioned 2.
Okay, the ticket has Miss Edwards. As to Kenneth Terry, there appears only 1 matter on the docket, but he also had a civil infraction. Could you just pull up count 1 to let me know what the status of that is?
Yes, Your Honor. The default, Your Honor. It's in default status.
Okay, we're gonna pull that up, and would you, I'm going to set aside the default on that one. It was issued at the same date and time, and he's here on the misdemeanor, so I'm going to. So that's why we need Mr. Morgan to include that if he chooses. So yes, I'm gonna set aside that default on the civil infraction. So that's what we need him to look at if he comes back in, please.
Your Honor, I just called for him to come back.
Thank you for making contact with Mr. Morgan. Samantha Tappan, please unmute yourself. Mr. Hughes, are you ready to proceed on her?
Yes.
Okay. This is case number, can't read the case number, 349002. The charges count one, no proof of insurance. Civil infraction. Count 2, driving or license never acquired, misdemeanor. And let's see, gotta look at this again here. The misdemeanor is before the court today for a pretrial. The other is a civil infraction. Counsel?
Your Honor, good afternoon. Paul Hughes appearing on her behalf. Ms. Tappan, could you state your full name for the record, please?
Samantha Tappan.
You may proceed, Counsel.
Your Honor, we're going to enter to a plea.
Ms. Tappan, would you raise your right hand and be sworn in, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Ms. Tappan, do you consent to having your cases heard today before this court on Zoom?
Yes.
You understand that you do have a right to a trial in and or hearing in each of these matters?
Yes.
By entering a plea, you're giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
I can't read the case number. Ms. Edwards, can you read that case number for me, those two case numbers for me again? Just the case numbers for Ms. Tappan.
If you like, I can.
Okay.
SP 1090685, counts 1 and counts 2.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Miss
Tappan.
Miss Tappan. Did I ask you, you understand that you do have a right to a trial in each of these matters? Did I ask you that? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you are entering a plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
On the case count number 2, the date of June 18, 2020, were you operating a motor vehicle on Hartwell Street in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you stopped by a Detroit police officer?
Yes.
Were you asked to produce a driver's license?
Yes.
And were you able to do so?
No.
Have you ever had a driver's license?
No.
Okay. Counsel, are you satisfied?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court will accept the plea guilty and adopt the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel and dismiss count 1, the civil infraction, with a stipulation of probable cause, counsel?
No, Your Honor, I think we've got that backwards. The plea is to the civil infraction, no proof of insurance. In return for dismissal of no valid or never acquired license.
Hold on.
That should be.
Hold on. No, the way this is written that she entered a plea of guilty to 1090685 count 2, which is the driving where license never acquired. And that count 1, the civil infraction, no proof of insurance, will be dismissed. That's what I have, unless you have something different.
No, court is correct. I misread the docket.
Okay. So, Ms. Tappan, that is your understanding that you're pleading guilty to the driving while license never acquired, and that count 1, the civil infraction of no proof of insurance, will be dismissed?
Yes.
Okay. And that's what you wish to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the court has accepted the plea. Counsel, is there anything else you wish to state?
The court has been very generous this morning, considering the pandemic, and we'd ask the court to waive fines and costs in this matter.
Ms. Tappan, anything else you wish to state?
No, ma'am.
The court will waive the fines and costs, which would have been in excess of $250. Ms. Tappan, you cannot operate a motor vehicle if you don't have a driver's license. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Came back before the court, it'd be a really different story, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You have to get your license before you can talk about driving. So unless you have any more questions.
No, ma'am.
All right. You're free to leave, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. DAIJUN, last name Andrews, please unmute yourself. Counsel, you ready to
Yes.
proceed? You ready to proceed, counsel, on this?
I am, Your Honor. Paul,
Yes.
hearing
Okay.
the defendant's behalf.
Wait a minute. I haven't called the case. I was just wanting to know if you were ready to proceed, counsel.
Yes.
That's all. Okay, this is case numbers P1098805, count 1, driver's license expired while operating a motor vehicle. And 1098804, charge is disregarding a traffic control device. That's a civil infraction. The matter is before the court on the misdemeanor for a pretrial. Counsel?
Your Honor, Could you please state your name for the record, please?
Dejan Andrews.
Thank you. Your Honor, we have discussed this matter in the breakout room. And Ms. Andrews wishes to enter into a plea pursuant to the city's recommendation.
Would you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down, ma'am. Ms. Andrews, you are consenting to having your matters heard today before the court on the Zoom,
Yes.
and you do understand that you have a right to a trial and or hearing in each of these matters.
Yes.
By entering a plea, you are giving up that right. Do you understand?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. The recommendation is that if you plead to the civil infraction, that the misdemeanor of driving while license expired would be dismissed. And that is what you wish to do, ma'am?
Yes.
80. Okay. So you are admitting responsibility to
The civil infraction.
disregarding the traffic control device. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And that was on the date of September 9th, 2020 at Otter Drive in the city of Detroit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Court, are you satisfied, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the plea of responsible to 1098804, count 1, the civil infraction, and per the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel, will dismiss P1098805, count 1, the misdemeanor driver's license expired. With a stipulation of probable cause as to the dismissal?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Defendant stipulating the probable cause, that case is dismissed. Anything you wish to state before the court imposes the fine, counsel?
Your Honor, please take in mind that we are in the middle of an epidemic or pandemic, and everybody is struggling.
Anything else you wish to state, ma'am?
No.
Okay, I will waive your fines and costs. Your fine today, Miss. Got to get these names right. Andrews, and you would have paid around $130. I'm waiving that today. Just have to make sure you're operating the motor vehicle, observing all of the laws. You understand?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
You're free to leave, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Did Mr. Morgan come back?
Not back yet.
Okay, not yet. All right. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tamika Horn on behalf of the City of Detroit. What our office will do, we hear the background noise of the hearing. I will text Mr. Morgan to let him know that he needs to report to courtroom 437, Your Honor.
Can't get off. Thank you very much. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
And is Madam Clerk online?
The clerk stepped out.
Okay, is this the court officer?
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. I just wanted to let you know, this is Gerald Ferry. I'm House Counsel this afternoon at 1:30.
Miss,
I take
Miss-
it you're not quite finished with your morning docket, is that correct?
Mr. Ferry, you are, Judge Bright is on, so you will be, if you could just wait, I need to speak with the clerk before, yes, we're not ready to start, obviously, the 1:30 docket yet. So she'll be able to tell you what time we're going to get started
Okay.
for the afternoon docket. Thank you. How have you been, sir?
Oh, I've been fine, thank you, Judge. I just wanted to let you know I'm here, and I'll just mute myself, and whenever you're ready, I'm here, okay?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, so that mean I gotta be on the afternoon docket even though I've been on Zoom waiting since 9:40?
Would you identify yourself, please?
Kenneth Terry.
Mr. Terry, this is Judge Bright. We are waiting for the assistant prosecutor to come back to the courtroom, and you will be taken care of, sir, but we can only do what we can do with the situation. There was a question regarding the recommendation that was written by the assistant corporation counsel. That's why we needed him. Okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, this is Prosecutor Stephen Morgan. I'm in the courtroom now.
Okay. There was just a question what the question is not on the Mr. Kenneth Terry. You wrote a recommendation. Do you have that one? That
Yes,
case?
I do.
I have set aside the default that was issued on the civil infraction and just wanted to include that in any recommendation that you had made. I'm just trying to pull it back up now.
To see who me? She can see me if she wants.
Let's
Your
see.
Honor, I can tell you that the civil infraction was count 1,
Yes.
and that was a state civil infraction. I could not do anything with that.
Okay, that's okay. I just want to know, but and they had indicated it was in default, and I set aside the default because, yeah, it was issued at the same time and place, and that happens that it goes into default. People thinking that they're going to have that heard with the misdemeanor. So okay, that's what we needed you for. We're good. We're good.
Your Honor, hang on one second. Could we clear up Dante Turner, which also had a incomplete recommendation on it?
Didn't we finish, Mr. Turner?
Oh, I think we moved to dismiss and you granted.
We took care of him. He is not
Thank you.
he's not on any longer on the docket.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me pull up Mr. Terry again. Just give me a second.
Your Honor, just to refresh your recollection, on Mr. Terry, there was one charge of disorderly conduct. Court indicated it had some information. There may be 2 charges, and the docket only showed 1.
Mr. Hughes, I just needed to pull it back up on my.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm good.
It's been a bumpy thing. I'm just trying to help.
Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk?
Yeah, she hasn't come back yet, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Be quiet, man.
Place yourself on mute if you're coming on at this time until you're.
Who's this?
Please place yourselves on mute or you will be removed. Officer, will you let me know when Miss Edwards comes back on in?
Yes, ma'am. She just walked in.
Oh, Miss Edwards.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we have Attorney Ferry that has checked in for the afternoon, and we're also having people check in for the afternoon. We should be finished in a few minutes with the morning docket. What time do you wish to have people call back in for the afternoon docket?
It's 1:30. I would say
We're going to give pre-trial dates.
yes. I would say 2:30, Your Honor.
They have them call back at 2:30.
Yeah, due back in at 2:30.
Okay. So for everyone that's checking in for the 1:30 docket, please call back in at 2:30. We are still on the morning docket. And so 2:30, please check back in. Everyone, you can disconnect and call back in at 2:30. All right, and Mr. Ferry.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ferry, would you call the clerk right now? And I'm going to call too, Ms. Edwards, okay?
Do you have a phone number?
965-2405.
I'm sorry, 965-20.
No, 2405.
240. Okay, I'll call right
Okay, okay, and Ms. Edwards, I'm just going to call you real quick as well, okay? Oops. Kenneth Terry, you can unmute yourself, please.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Recalling P1072425, Kenneth Terry. The charge is count 1, civil infraction littering. The court has set aside the default that was entered in that matter. And then count 2 that is on the docket today is disorderly conduct, misdemeanor scheduled for a pretrial. Counsel?
Your Honor, Paul Hughes appearing on his behalf. Sir, could you state your full name for the record?
Kenneth Lionel Terry Jr.
Thank you. Your Honor, as far as this case goes, I don't believe I saw a recommendation on him.
Yes, we had a recommendation from the Assistant Corporation Counsel for a delayed sentence, 3 months. You haven't spoken to Mr. Terry, is that correct?
No, I don't think I have. Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't. So
That's the recommendation for a delayed sentence, 3 months. So it's pre-trial. So either he wishes to
very
avail himself of that, or we'll set it for trial. Hold on, Mr. Terry. I'm going to take this. Wait a minute. I have a couple more that I'm going to take, and then you can go in and speak to counsel.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. You can mute yourself, sir, until we come back to you. Who is the person, Cynthia's iPhone? You need to identify yourself. I can't look up you based upon first name. Cynthia's iPhone? Okay, we're gonna move on.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
That would be Paul Tyler.
I see Cynthia's iPhone. I see Paul Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a precaution because the battery on my tablet is running low.
Okay, okay. Is Paul Tyler able to speak without your iPhone?
Yes, he is. He's getting to it right now.
Yep, I'm right here.
Here.
Okay, what do we have for Paul Tyler? Okay, I have to look up that again.
Start with me.
Hold on a second.
Your Honor, his case was a state matter.
And it was set for a pretrial?
Yes.
Okay. So Mr.
Tyler, how are you, Your Honor?
No, you're not who I'm. Okay, I got you, sir. Hold on. I'm getting ready to speak to the attorney. Mr. Hughes, this is a state matter for pretrial. Do you have you will have a motion after I call the case?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Tyler, I'm calling your case now. SX 376-96231. The charge is open alcohol. Sir, I know it is.
I was just letting you know.
I know it is, sir. The charge is open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Today is the pretrial. Counsel, identify yourself and your client for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Paul Hughes appearing on his behalf. Sir, could you state your full name for the court?
Paul Nicholas Tyler.
Thank you. Your Honor, it is my understanding that people are not ready to proceed. We move to dismiss.
Well, they have not appeared, so I need the language to be very clear because they didn't say that they didn't physically say they were not ready to proceed, but they did not appear today for the scheduled pretrial. So your motion is to dismiss.
My motion is to dismiss based on their lack of appearance.
Court will dismiss the case without prejudice. The prosecution has failed to appear for the scheduled pretrial. Do you have any questions? It is dismissed without prejudice.
No question for me, Mr. Taylor. Do you understand? Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions, sir?
No.
Okay, you're free to leave, sir.
Okay, you have a blessed day.
You too. Anyone checking in for this afternoon, the 1:30 docket, please check back in at 2:30. We're still on the morning docket. So anyone checking in, please disconnect and check back in at 2:30 for the 1:30 docket. Anyone that has checked in now. If you're on the 1:30 docket, check back in at 2:30. You can disconnect right now.
You're
right.
Please disconnect, Mr. Tyler. Anyone that 509, who you need to identify yourself. phone number that has a 509, ends in 509, please identify yourself.
Oh, that's also me, Your Honor, Kenneth Terry, because my phone is going dead. And I was wondering, can I put in a guilty plea? Because I also have to be to work at 2:00, and I've been
Sir,
on
I can't take a guilty plea because you have to leave to go to work. I can take a guilty plea if you're saying you were guilty as to
No, I
the
did
charge.
guilty what I was charged with. I'm not
Okay.
denying.
Okay. If you're checking in for the 1:30 docket, please check back in at 2:30. We're still on the morning docket. If you have a 1:30, check back in at 2:30. Okay. And Mr. Terry,
Yes, Your Honor.
you can,
we actually didn't have a chance to speak, Your Honor. We're still waiting to go in a breakout room, but we can make it quick.
okay. Well, yes, you need to speak to the attorney first, Mr. Terry. I'll send you in the breakout room. Once you see join, please join.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm still. Okay.
We get a lunch every day. So
Are you ready to proceed on Kenneth Terry, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Terry, you may unmute yourself, please.
I'm done, Your Honor.
Okay, let me pull up your case again. Need to. Okay, can't. I'm trying to locate your case again. Keep disappearing. Okay, I think I have it here. If you're checking in for the 1:30 docket, please check back in at 2:30. We're still on the morning docket. This is case number P1072425. Kenneth Lionel Terry. Case 1 is a recall. Count 1, littering, civil infraction. Count 2, disorderly conduct, misdemeanor, scheduled for a pretrial today. Counsel, identify yourself and client for the record.
Your Honor, Paul Hughes appearing on behalf of Mr. Terry. Could you please state your full name for the court, please?
Kenneth Lionel Terry.
Thank you.
You can proceed, counsel.
Your Honor, there has been a plea recommendation made by the city. Mr. Terry wishes to avail himself of that.
Mr. Terry, would you raise your right hand and be sworn in? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, sir?
I do.
Mr. Terry, do you consent to having your matters heard today before the court on Zoom?
Yes.
You understand that you do have a right to a trial and or hearing in each of these matters?
Yes.
By entering a plea, you are giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the date of March 7th, 2020, were you on Theodore Street in the city of Detroit?
Yes, I would.
Counsel, you may voir dire as to the facts.
Sir, at that date and time and place, were you acting in a disorderly fashion?
Yes, it was a family. It was a
That's
family
okay.
of.
Wait a minute.
I'll ask you.
Hey, counsel, disorderly fashion is a legal term, so we need to get to exactly the conduct that was disorderly.
That's where I was going, Your Honor. Sir,
Okay.
Sir, was there a family dispute at that house at that date and time?
Yes, there were.
Okay, and were you raising your voice and so that neighbors might be able to hear?
Yes.
Okay, and I think that's sufficient, Your Honor.
No. Just
No.
because somebody raises their voice so the neighbors can hear is not per the law disorderly conduct.
Well, if you're disturbing the good peace and tranquility of the neighborhood, it is.
Well, but he didn't say that. You didn't ask that question. If you just
said-
raising your voice, it doesn't give me the facts of disorderly conduct.
He
So,
said it could be heard by the neighbors, Your Honor. So it's disturbing.
but
the peace.
it could. No, sir. No, sir, Mr. Hughes. The words that you just used earlier, adding that on it about disturbing the good peace and order, that is part of the legal disorderly conduct. But just because he raised his voice and the neighbors could hear it is not in and of itself disorderly. So you have to ask him that question specifically. Did he disturb the good peace and order of the neighborhood? That's the disorderly conduct element. Okay.
Sir, did you disturb the peace and tranquility of the neighborhood on that date in question?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Court will accept that plea
Thank you.
and adopt the written recommendation of the Assistant Corporation Counsel and delay sentence in this matter. Is there anything you wish to state, Mr. Hughes, on behalf of Mr. Terry, before I impose the delayed sentence conditions?
Thank you. Your Honor, this was a family dispute. I think it got a little bit out of hand. Mr. Terry is apologetic to the court and to his family for that matter. I think it just got a little bit tracked sideways. And he's not a bad person. We'd ask the court to consider all that in the pandemic in terms of fines and costs.
Anything else you wish to state, Mr. Terry?
I haven't got into a family dispute since that day, and that's all.
And you're not intending to get into any more family disputes, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Terry, per the recommendation, I'm going to delay sentence in this matter for a period of 3 months. And if you satisfy the next condition after that 3-month period, May 10th is your sentencing date. If you satisfy the condition, then I will dismiss this case against you and it will not appear upon your record at all. So the condition that I am setting is that you have no more criminal contact with the law during this 3-month period from today until May 10th. You understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. And as to any fines and costs, the court is going to waive any fines and costs. You would have been paying in the area of $150, but I am waiving the fines and costs.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
the only condition you must satisfy is no criminal contact. If you have none, you do not have to appear on May 10th. If you do have any, you must appear on that date. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, I understand.
Any further questions?
No.
You're free to leave, Mr. Terry.
All right. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Abdallah is the last person you need to speak with. Would you okay, he is the first person on the list. Do
I
you
have
have?
the recommendation. I have the recommendation.
Okay, so Mr. Abdallah, please go when you see join, speak with the attorney, the court-appointed attorney in the room.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You can join.
Okay.
You need to join, Mr. Abdallah. Okay. Okay. Did you tell Mr. Abdallah to come back?
Yes.
Okay, he's not come back yet. Let me kick him out. Okay. I'm saying kick him out of the room to bring him back to the court. I don't want. All right.
I hope he comes back. I told him to go back in the room, hit leave.
I hope he didn't disconnect himself. Okay, here he is. Mr. Abdallah, are we ready? Okay, am I ready to call are you ready for me to call the case again?
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is case numbers SP 742-3581. The charge is an operating motor vehicle with no insurance, scheduled for arraignment on the bench warrant. There's also 184114691, operating motor vehicle with no operator's license. Both of them are before the court for the arraignment on the bench warrant. Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Paul M. Hughes, appearing on Mr. Abdallah's behalf. Could you state your full name for the record, please?
Hani Hassan Abdallah.
Thank you. Your Honor, we wish to proceed by way of a plea.
Okay, let me pull Mr. Abdallah's case up again. Mr. Abdallah, would you raise your right hand and be sworn in, please? Sir, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Abdallah, you can put your hand out. Do you consent to having your matters heard before the court today on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you do have a right to a trial in each of these matters?
I do understand, Your Honor.
By entering a plea, you're giving up that right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
You are entering the plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so on, wait a minute, let me see what the recommendation was, 411-469. Sir, on the date of January 3rd, 2018, were you operating a motor vehicle on Gratiot Avenue in the city of Detroit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, you may voir dire as to the facts.
Sir, at that time, did you have a valid license to display to the officer?
No.
And did you have any insurance on the vehicle at that time?
No.
No, he was only going to, wasn't that just one plea, just to?
Yes.
Okay, we're not, okay, so the only plea is, sir, you were stopped by a Detroit police officer on that date?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you, well, wait a minute, I gotta find that again. And you were unable to produce an operator's license when asked to do so, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
No operator's license on person. Okay, so the court will accept the plea, and there was a count two. I didn't read a count two at the 411-469, the no insurance. That was not on here.
Pursuant to the recommendation, that matter was to be dismissed.
Well, I'm saying I did not read it when I read the case number. When I called the case, I only called two cases, and that was not one. So I'm adding that count two, but the court will accept the plea to count one and dismiss per the recommendation count two, the no insurance, and also dismiss P742358 count one. Those dismissals are with a stipulation to probable cause, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant stipulated probable cause, those two matters are dismissed. Counsel, is there anything you wish to state before the court imposes the fines and costs?
Yes, Your Honor. He enjoys quite a good driving record. I don't think he indicates to me that he has nothing since that time. He's trying to take care of his business, and I think he has. We'd ask the court to consider that pandemic in assessing any fines and costs.
Mr. Abdallah, per the pandemic, I am waiving your fines and costs. Your fine would have been in the amount in excess of $175. I'm waiving those costs, fines and costs. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, did you post a bond? Excuse me, Judge. Did you have to post a bond in this matter? Do you hear me?
Did you pay any money, sir, for these two cases, a bond?
Yes, Your Honor, I had a bond for 3 separate cases. Each one is $100.
Okay, bond to be refunded. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
but if there's a Secretary of State reinstatement fee, sir, you would have to pay that. Secretary of State assesses those fees, and that can be taken out of the bond, and any remainder would
Okay.
be refunded. Any of the remainder would be refunded to you. You understand that?
I do understand, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any further questions?
Last one, Your Honor. On the tickets that I got, all these tickets, Your Honors, my wife went online and she paid 2 separate amount, or all of them together came out to $408.
But sir, was that for the bond, or I don't, you could not have paid for the ticket itself. I don't know that these offenses would have been, you needed to appear in court. They would not have let you pay it. They should not have let you pay it. Well, maybe you need to call back, and you can call back after 2:30 today and speak with the court clerk, and maybe she can give you some further directions. Maybe you have the case numbers that you're speaking of, but call back and speak with the clerk after, well, let's say about 2:45, okay?
Okay, I do
All right.
have the cases number. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you, Your
all
Honor,
right.
so much. Thank you for your time.
All right then.
God bless you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, you're free to leave, sir.
Thank you.
And